Well, all right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. The hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu has now taken center stage on X. Human rights activist Omoyele Sowore officially began mobilizing crowds for his planned hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu march protest to the presidential villa set for next Monday, October 20th, to demand the release of the detained leader of the indigenous peoples of Biafra. Well, in a video posted on Sowore's X account, Kanu's special counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor, is seen speaking to the crowd as they sang songs of solidarity with Sowore's name. Let's take a look.
I have decided whatever it would take that on October 20th, I will lead all of you to Aso Rock Village. We are here in this market today, but we are calling on all markets across Nigeria and the world, of people of conscience, to close down for us. It's not too much to ask for. Whether you are in Lagos,
1 week in closer.
We have been closing markets every Monday, We need one more Monday. It's not about closing down the market, it's about bringing Nnamdi back home. And we are not doing this because we are Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa. We are doing it because we are the good people of the world, not even Nigerians.
All right. Sowore has been calling on political leaders from the southeast to join him in this peaceful protest to Aso Rock to release Nnamdi Kanu, including publicly calling on Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo, Abia State Governor Alex Oti, and former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi to join him. And I'll take some response on his protest on X. And this person wrote, so this so-called hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu march is another misplaced initiative that only endangers innocent citizens in Abuja. If you truly believe in your cause, start your protest from your region. Don't bring chaos to the streets of the federal capital. It's pure hypocrisy when people like Sowore, who call themselves activists, selectively choose which injustice to shout about while promoting actions that disrupt peace and threatens national unity. True activism is about justice, not noise. It's about building, not burning. Nigeria deserves reasoned dialogue, not reckless mobilization. Another ex-user wrote, the big elephant in the room. We support you, Sowore. Keep speaking out for the well-being of all Nigerians. We need more Sowores, more VDMs, more Harrison Wanishu, etc. This country does not belong to politicians. It's time to say enough is enough. We've taken this story, Rufai, and we've seen that Sowore is really moving on with this protest. I believe, okay, it's, part of this NSAS protest as well that would come October 20th. Benga, I'm sure you're still with me before I come to you both. Meanwhile, a group of terrorists...
Absolutely.
Perfect. Meanwhile, a group of terrorists has reportedly reached a peace agreement with representatives of several communities in Katsina State following a meeting held under the Operation Safe Corridor Initiative. Counterinsurgency expert Zagazola Makama said the dialogue took place on October 12th. The meeting, according to the report, is aimed at restoring sustainable peace and security across communities affected by years of violence and bandit attack. I mean, this is not the first of such meeting in the state, as similar dialogues were held in June and September when stakeholders reached truces with armed group leaders under the same federal government's Operation Safe Corridor initiative. Also, we saw Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi, who has now renewed his call for the federal government to initiate peace talks with bandits, insisting that dialogue remains the most effective route to achieving lasting security in Nigeria. Well, in a Facebook post on Monday, Gumi referenced the recent peace deal between Israel and Hamas as proof that even long-standing conflicts can be resolved through negotiation. The Kaduna-based cleric argued that if the United States could broker peace between Israel and Hamas, two groups once at bitter odds, then Nigeria should be able to engage its own armed groups in dialogue. And Rufai, I'll come to you first. I'd like for you to, juxtapose these two stories. In one hand, we are seeing you're trying to protest and, for the release of the detained IPOB leader. On the other hand, we see Sheikh Ahmad Gumi talking about renegotiating with bandits. We have even seen peace deals in Katsina State. Your thoughts?
Real quickly, Oji, it just shows you what Nigeria is all about. In a part of the country, bandits are being fed, they are being given a shoebi, they are holding peace meetings. They are holding peace meetings with their weapons. Weapons that are supposed to be illegal. Oji, you and I cannot take weapons like that and show them in public.
Impossible.
The security agents will come against us. But they can do all of that and show rocket launchers in public. The federal government will turn an eye to them. But Nnamdi Kanu that protests about a matter or that did some things that agitated for the marginalization of people, yes, some of the methods I don't support of what Nnamdi Kanu had done. And I condemn and criticize him on it. But there have also been calls for peace. There have also been calls for a political settlement. Courts in this country, and kudos to women in the judiciary, women judges, not justices. Justice Adefokwe had first ruled in 2022 that he should be discharged. The federal government went on appeal, 4-1, Justice Garba. But a dissenting judge, Justice Ogunmiju, also ruled that the appeal court judgment should stay as regards to Nnamdi Kanu. But guess what? We have continued to put him in incarceration. Now his health is failing. They are still dilly-dallying about how to treat him. But in the same country, bandits are holding meetings with governors, doing photo ops and the likes. So when people now talk about unfairness in the same country, people will say they don't have a right. You see bandits doing press conference with guns and bullets and everything. There's no security agent in the world that will come and arrest them. Is it that security agents cannot round them up as they are doing this peace meeting?
All right.
Sheikh Gumi will now go ahead and be urging dialogue with bandits. The same Sheikh Gumi that was a captain in the Nigerian army, that I think his offspring serves in the army today. They will say, oh, bandits are also protesting because, or they are killing people because Nigeria is bad to all of them. But you have a certain standard for some people, you have a certain standard for other people.
Right.
I have never said here that I supported entirely the way Nnamdi Kanu went about it. But what we are saying is, why do you have standards for some over the others in this country?
All right.
And that's just a clear case of what we're talking about here.
Well said, Rufai. Well said, Rufai. Well, Benga, speaking about protests, in the United States, naked protesters gathered across Portland, Oregon on Sunday to demonstrate against President Trump's efforts to mobilize the National Guard in the city, mirroring deployments in other areas like Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. These nude demonstrations, which took place outside the city's main immigration facility, is aimed at highlighting what demonstrators characterize as the militarization of Portland and the ongoing harm to immigrant and indigenous communities in the United States. Let's take a look at this protest before I come to you, Benga. Well, Benga, these demonstrations will seem valid. As you know, there was a temporary judicial order that had paused the deployment of National Guard troops to the state earlier this month. But naked protesters, this seems like something we'll see in this part of the world, wouldn't you say, Benga?
Well, when you look at Trump's posture in many of its policy, also you can also see the shutdown that is still on. It's having a spiral effect, very overlapping effect indeed, I must say. And for the people to have come out clearly naked, that's something that Trump must consider. I think Trump should have a rethink on many of this policy, despite the interim order coming from the court restraining this issue on National Guard. But I think that Trump should have a people-friendly policy that would address many of these issues, because it's becoming an overlapping challenge in the U.S. polity right now. Look at what's happening in the shutdown. That's affecting and that's threatening a lot of layoff and you don't underestimate the far-reaching effect and consequences that this might cause the U.S. in the coming days. I think the U.S. now using Trump's model is really working on an eggshell, and that's not the best for the U.S. government.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, shall we now take another story? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has eulogized his son, Seyi, as he turned 40 on Sunday, October 12, expressing happiness that his son has grown into a man the entire family is proud of for imbibing values of discipline, integrity, and hard work. In a 6-paragraph tribute issued on Sunday, the president thanked Almighty God for his son's life and the man he has become, noting that Seyi has walked his path with focus, courage, and humility. The president described 40 as a special age that bridges youthful drive and the more profound wisdom that life brings. Tinubu also expressed pride in the family Seyi is building with his wife, Leal, his devotion as a husband and father, and his commitment to making a difference in his generations. I'll say a happy birthday to Seyi Tinubu. Well, in celebration of Seyi Tinubu's birthday, 1 million copies of the Holy Bible are set to be distributed across Nigeria. The initiative was announced on Sunday during a Thanksgiving service at the National Christian Center, Abuja, organized by Friends of Seyi Tinubu. The organizers said the Bibles will be shared through churches and community groups nationwide to promote moral renewal, ethical leadership, and civic responsibility among young Nigerians. Well, this announcement has generated public reactions, especially on social media. I'll take some, Rufai, before I come to you. And there's a lot of misplaced, comments that were made by this actual announcement, because obviously Seyi, these are Seyi's friends that organized this whole Bible distribution. I'll take this post on X from Laugh and Learn, who wrote, sharing 1 million Bibles may look noble, but it misses the mark with Nigerians battling many problems. What we need isn't more religion, it's real solutions. Honoring Seyi Tinubu at 40 should mean empowering youth, funding education, and creating jobs, not symbolic gestures. These are the sort of comments that we see online. But again, happy birthday to Seyi Tinubu. A quick comment from you, Rufai, before we take our next story.
Happy birthday, Seyi. Well, we wish you the very best. 40 is no easy. It's no small feat. I just pray for God's continuous guidance in your life, and I wish you well, and I wish your family well. But sharing the Bible, yes, it's a good gesture. But you see, my problem is this: sharing Bible for people that don't read Bible, or they read Bible and don't practice what is in the Bible, is an exercise in futility. Because if people, with the number of people that go to church and mosque in Nigeria today, and with the country of many bishops that we have that come out during election period, if we really practice what is in the Bible, our lives will not be like this. Accountability issue will not be the order of the day. Forgery will not be the order of the day. Corruption will not be the order of the day. So it's not by sharing Bible. It's by having a renewal of our hearts that will make this country a whole lot better. But we can't also stop his friends from sharing Bible. That's what they deem fit to share. Maybe it will start a rekindling or a revolution in their heart. But on the flip side of it, they also should be careful. Because some people will now see it along religious lines, which should not be the case. And that's why we should be careful. But I don't see anything wrong in sharing Bible. But please, it is in imbibing what is in the Bible and living by the tenets of the Bible. Because if Nigerians were living by the tenets of the Bible, someone like me will have a need to talk less here and stop repeating all the things I've been saying for the past 6 years I've been working on Arise. So we wish them well and we wish them the best.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Seyi Tinubu. And, you know, like I said, this was an initiative by his friends. I mean, the friends can do as they please at this point. I mean, like yesterday, was it you that was saying we don't need more religion in Nigeria? We need action. We need action and common sense. Now, let's bring you an update to the story we brought you yesterday. Nigeria's Minister of Works, David Umahi, has revealed the staggering costs of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, clocking in at 7.5 billion naira per kilometer. The minister said the initial 47.47 kilometer section carries a price tag of 1.6 trillion naira, covering 6 lanes, shore protection, solar lighting, and reinforced concrete construction. Umahi defended the figure, arguing it's lower than previous projects like the Eleme One and Abuja Kano roads. He cited international bank reviews and invited public debate on the costs. Let's take a look.
This is the rundown of the figures. Number one, the first section, 47.47, is costing 1.067 trillions, and is by 6 lanes. Now, when you divide this 1.067 trillion by 47.47 by 2, you will get 11.57 billion per kilometer of 3 lanes. A standard road is 2 lanes. Standard federal highway is 2 lanes. So by the time you now divide it by 3 and multiply by 2, you will now say that a standard coastal road is going for 7.5 billion per kilometer of standard highway. Now, let me also tell you that the Deutsche Bank that led the other international banks to review the cost of the project so as to fund the 70% of the loan component, they said that that project was undervalued. It was undervalued. And when it was time to contribute, to give the loan, that project was oversubscribed by $100 million. And so if the financial institutions can give us this credit, we are ready to face anybody. But when you are criticizing us, be very objective and tell the public the truth.
Right, he's saying we should all be objective at this point. We finally have a figure, Benga. However, this revelation has sparked fierce online comparisons to cheaper global benchmarks and raised, of course, serious concerns over environmental impacts and community displacements across Lagos and, of course, the surrounding areas. I'd like your thoughts on this because we have been following this story, and I thought it was important to, highlight this part of his speech. I believe this was still from yesterday. I mean, he's saying it's going to cost around 7.5 billion per kilometer. Benga, a quick comment, really.
Yeah, a quick one indeed. Thank you very much, Ojinika. I think that I would rather stand by the upholding pillars of democracy, which is transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. In a situation where institutions are functioning well, this should not even be an issue, because what happens to Nigeria's procurement system? There are established institutions and there are established due process that should look into this, and because we know that the Lagos Coastal Highway is a laudable project that will open up the nation's economic corridors to the outside world and boost economic integration and promote and bring us to the path of growth and progress. But despite this, I think there is a need for transparency in all this, and this is where the Bureau of Public Procurement, who is in charge of regulating the cost and also monitoring the cost of this project, and also bringing some level of price intelligence to this issue should be up and doing, and should publish it, and so that everyone could have access, everyone could ask questions. It's not just the minister, it's about the institution. So we need to have a system where there is a strengthening of institution, so that all these loopholes could be properly blocked, and we could have a sustainable economy when it comes to awarding of contracts. So I think that we should look into this place. The Bureau of Public Procurement should be the one addressing the public and telling us how they arrive at this cost. Because I want to believe that in terms of contract awarding of contracts, it should pass through the institution called the Bureau of Public Procurement.
Well said.
So that's my take on this.
Well said, Benga. As always.